latest Granada news.
And finally, a woman from Southport who spent nearly 20 years trying to trace her father is preparing to meet him for the first time. Sharon Latham's mother lost contact with her GI fiancé Eugene Roseborough in the 60s. The family will be reunited tomorrow when he flies in from the United States. Maria Gearing reports.
Sharon Latham is 37 years old, but has never met her father. Eugene Roseborough was a GI who met her mother in Liverpool in the 60s, and although the couple wanted to get married, they lost touch when he returned to America. Sharon, who's a mother of 4 living in Southport, managed to track him down after phoning more than 300 people with his surname in the United States. He's due to arrive at Manchester Airport tomorrow.
That was my worst fear, was that I was going to be rejected. Because I suppose when you're growing up, you feel you're rejected anyway. When even though you try not to, and your mum's telling you he was nice and it's not your fault and things like that, you just feel you're growing up with rejection. But now he's coming over, and I just feel there's going to be this bond, and I'll see him, and I don't know how I'm really going to react when I see him, but I know there's something special going to happen. And I don't know whether I won't think I'm going to run into his arms like that or anything, but it'll just be very, very emotionally charged. The atmosphere will be charged up when I see him.
It's taken Sharon nearly 20 years to find her father. She's due to meet him for the first time tomorrow for the reunion of a lifetime.
And more on that story in this evening's Granada tonight at 5 to 6, along with all of the region's top news stories. Hope you can join us then. Bye-bye.
Sharon Latham's mother lost contact with her GI fiancé back in the 60s, and it's taken Sharon from Southport almost 20 years to track him down to Connecticut in the United States.
Yes, indeed it has. During her search, she contacted more than 300 people with the same surname. Her father's due to arrive at Manchester Airport tomorrow morning. So tonight, Sharon's preparing for the reunion of a lifetime.
So I've waited 37 years, and tomorrow's going to happen. I mean, that's a long time to wait. This is a dream for me, and I've really prayed for this moment to happen, and it's going to happen. My mum's always told me about him. Nothing horrible, it's always been like a love story. I've always thought, oh, they should have been together. They got all the addresses and telephone numbers for Roseborough. It was 372. So every night, well, not every night, but almost every night and weekends, I started phoning them up. And I just started going through the list, and this woman, I'd been through, don't forget, I've been through 300 names by now, so I was like getting blasé about it. And it says, hello, my name's Sharon, I'm phoning from England. England? I said, yeah, I've been there before, I know. So I said, my name's Sharon Roseborough, I'm looking for someone with the same last name as yourself. She says, my name's Roseborough. I said, yeah, I know, that's why I'm calling you up. She started telling me a few more things, and she said, I'll see what I can do, and I'll telephone you, I'll call you back. So I was waiting on edge, and I phoned my mum and my sister, and we're all waiting, like 2 o'clock in the morning, waiting for phone calls. And she phones up, she says, I got your daddy's number, I got your aunt's number, and they're both waiting to hear from you. I thought, I'm giving nothing away. I don't know whether this is really my dad, so I'll wait to see what he can tell me. And he gave me all the details, my mum's address, everybody's name, dates of birth, everything that nobody else could know. And even when there was pregnant pauses, it was still lovely, because it was like, I found him. And the pauses were like love-filled pauses. It was lovely. That was my worst fear, was that I was going to be rejected. Because I suppose when you're growing up, you feel you're rejected anyway. When even though you try not to, and your mum's telling you he was nice and it's not your fault and things like that, you just feel you're growing up with rejection. But now he's coming over, and I just feel there's going to be this bond, and I'll see him, and I don't know how I'm really going to react when I see him, but I know there's something special going to happen. And I don't know whether I won't think I'm going to run into his arms like that or anything, but it'll just be very, very emotionally charged. The atmosphere will be charged up when I see him.
The remarkable story of Sharon Latham, a very determined lady there.
Taken Sharon Latham, who's from Southport, almost 20 years to trace her father, who flew in from the United States today. Maria Gearing reports.
This is the moment that Sharon Latham met her father for the very first time. It's taken Sharon nearly 20 years to trace him. Eugene Roseborough was a GI who met her mother in Liverpool in the 60s, and although the couple wanted to get married, they lost touch when he returned to America. Sharon managed to track him down after phoning more than 300 people with his surname in the United States.
You can't explain it, you know, it's just, he's here, this search is over, and this is time to carry on now with what we've got. Oh.
I was over here before, you know, with the Army, and I didn't have a chance to really, you know, find out where she's at, but I always thought about her all the time. And then finally, when we really got in contact with each other, it was really different. We really met a lot.
Eugene flew into Manchester Airport from Connecticut this morning. He'll be staying with Sharon and her family in Southport for the next 2 weeks, when they'll try to make up for spending a lifetime apart.
Great story there, and that...
Yeah, an amazing story, isn't it? Sharon, Eugene, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
How has today been?
Oh, busy. A long day. It's been a long day for you, hasn't it?
Very long. Yes.
Eugene, you must be so tired. I mean, the overnight flight and then all of this today.
What was that like? What was that moment like, though, when he held you?
It was like, you know, a puzzle, and you find the final piece, and you've been searching for it for a long time, and you suddenly just, it's down the side of it. I found it at last. That's what it was like.
Because
like
he had
amazing.
actually held you once before, is that right?
Yeah. When I was born at home, and when I was born, he held me first, and he told me this over the telephone, but he told me again since that he held me before my mum even held me.
So how much did you think about him in those years?
Oh, a lot, just a lot, because my mum always told me about him.
I mean, as a little girl, did you dream about what he was like?
Yeah, I used to make stories up about him because I didn't know. I used to say to my friends, oh yeah, my father's the Prime Minister of Africa. And they'd go to Mum, is he really the Prime Minister of Africa? And she'd go, he was in the circus last week.
Eugene, how's it been to finally meet your daughter?
It's really been exciting to me. You know, I thought about this ever since, you know, we got in contact with each other. But like I said, when I was young, you know, seeing her born, that's something I would never forget in my life. And there ain't no way I could, you know, ever forget her. So she'd always be in my mind. But this day here has really been something for me.
How
Really.
much did you think about her when you were apart?
I always had her picture with me. Everywhere I went, I had a picture.
And what did you expect her to be like?
Like me.
And is she?
And she is, oh, I'm telling you, just like me. Just like me.
We've got the same sense of humour. We've spoken to each other on the telephone for about a year and a half, and we get on great, got a great bond together.
Right.
We laugh at the same jokes.
So how hard was it for you, Eugene, to be all those miles away from a little girl who obviously did mean a lot to you?
Well, it's a long story, really, because, like, you know, when you're young and you're in the service and you're trying to advance your career and everything else, you know. But I had every intention of getting married and raising my child, plus her sister, Marie. And it seemed like I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Well, it's lovely to see you in the right spot at the right time now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
glad-
you just have
I'm
a
glad to be back.
fantastic fortnight together, both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks
Great
for
to
coming.
see you.
Very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, time now for a final look at today's regional and national